Hi, it's Melissa from Cajun Sugar Pie. Today we are working on clearing out our food storage. So in today's video, we are going to be working on our December food challenge of cleaning out the food storage. And that is the pantry, the fridge, the freezer, freezers, and fridges. And we are going to work on the inventorying of those things today. And then throughout the month, I'm going to be using what I have in all of those areas and making sure that all the food does not go bad and that we get it all used up. Okay guys, so we're about to head into the pantry and it is a little messy and it needs some organization as well as cleaning out some of the food storage. So we'll start at the bottom. I have all kinds of pans and stuff that I was using for Thanksgiving and I just was in a hurry and threw them in there. So we have to address that. We have all this stuff. And I have a really small pantry. That's one of the only things that I don't really like about this house is my pantry is so small. Especially for somebody who cooks literally every meal. It's not a big space at all. So we have an overflow pantry in the garage, but I can only use that for like normal temperature weather. If it's too hot or too cold, we can't leave stuff out there. So this is the too cold time, so I need to make sure I get everything put into this pantry. Here is my spice storage on the door of my pantry. I have a lot of spices. I use all of these all the time. Okay, so this is the hodgepodge that was on the top shelf of the pantry. Not a ton of it's food though. It's a lot of like plastic bags and serving stuff for parties and stuff to put in the freezer. We do have a few things that are food. A lot of these big bars we have. This is potato flakes from Bob's. Coconut, then a lot of the paper goods like the paper towels, the plastic bags, which I am trying to reduce the single-use plastic, oatmeal, and these are bags of popcorn that are kind of getting really old. So I think I'm going to make some caramel corn with those, and that's good for the holidays too. So this is all the top shelf and I'm going to get most of it put back up. I think I'm going to move all of this to a different cabinet, and then just have it mainly be food and the paper, plastic goods, the parchment paper, plastic wrap, wax paper, foil, all that kind of stuff. So here is shelf 2. This is all of my bacon products. I could try and keep all that stuff together. So you'll see I have like, I rarely use Crisco. I think I bought this last year. I don't know what the date is, but it probably needs to be used up. So I need to find the recipe that calls for this and remake a few batches so that we get it used up. Then we have some powdered sugar. We have dark rye flour for making bread, white rice flour for gluten-free baking. This sugar is actually for the hummingbirds, and they didn't use it all this year before it got too cold, so that will go back for next year. Organic sugar and brown sugar. King Arthur flour, I always have AP on hand, and this is the what I use from, and then these are the extras. So then I also have bread flour, which that's King Arthur bread flour. Vermont nut-free chocolates, and we're going to be making some Christmas chocolate covered suckers that we're going to decorate. So I have the candy melts from there. There's some sprinkles in here, some cupcake holders, some gelatin, a few pieces of caramel in there. I enjoy light chocolate chips. So I have one semi-sweet, two semi-sweet and a dark. Every time that I make something that I know I'm going to use again pretty quickly, I'll weigh it out and do a second batch. Like this is some bread. This will make 2 loaves of bread. And when I made this particular bread about 2 weeks ago, I went ahead and mixed it all up. So I just need to add the wet ingredients to that when I'm ready to make bread. So that makes it super quick. I did the same thing with this Amish oatmeal that I make a lot for breakfast. And so when I make a batch, I put another batch And I usually put them in jars, in quart jars, but all my jars are full right now, so I had to use plastic. But this is an Amish oatmeal, and it's just all the liquid ingredients that I need to add. So I already have that mix ready to go. And I have, this is almost empty, but I have 2 regular Hershey's cocoa, and then 2, this one is also almost empty, of the special dark. This cocoa powder is what I usually buy, this Dutch cocoa powder from the Spice House. White wheat, whole wheat flour, and I use that in a lot of the recipes that call for just regular whole wheat. I'll use the white wheat. This is sodium citrate, which we use in queso, xanthan gum, I always say it wrong, but that is for gluten-free bacon. Some potato starch, which is also for gluten-free baking. Some milk powder. This sodium hexametaphosphate, which also goes in our queso. I don't like using a lot of chemicals, but those are the 2 that I would use in queso because you really need them for the melty purposes. And this is powdered sugar. I also have another powdered sugar, so I need to combine all those powdered sugars. White chocolate chips, and they also came from the Vermont nut-free chocolates. That's white chocolate chips, and then I also have coconut from Bob's, and it's unsweetened. That's the coconut that we like to use. So this is all of the baking stuff, and I'm going to put that all back on the shelf and make sure that I fill things that need to be filled, like the flour and the powdered sugar and things like that, so it takes up less space. Okay, so this is the second shelf, and it is a much smaller, the third shelf, and it is a much smaller shelf in my pantry, so not a ton can go on it. So I kind of limit it to like oils and breakfasty stuff. I have some grits. We have Barney butter, which is peanut-free almond butter. This is an extra black pepper, some honey. This maple syrup is so good. It's our favorite, and it is also peanut-free. Then I have all these Jellos, and I usually just keep them if someone is sick. And thanks to COVID, we haven't been getting out in the last 2 years, so there's a ton of Jello here, and thankfully no one's gotten sick. Oils, vegetable oil, cornmeal, molasses, some cranberries, and these are almost out. And these are so good for cookies, and especially right now during the holidays. And then I have some oatmeal, old-fashioned oats from Bob's. We have some Lipton tea. We have honey-made graham crackers, condensed milk, and then these corn syrups, which I never use except during the holidays, and I have no idea why I have so many. I think I kept getting them when I would see deals on them, knowing that I would be baking with them during the holidays, and then I looked in the pantry and I have this surplus that I'll never get through this year. So I'll have to find some more recipes and things so that I use that up before we get to this point next year and I still have them in my cabinet, because that would not be good. So this is just kind of bacon-y, baking and breakfast kind of things on that shelf. Okay, this is the last shelf, and also some surplus from what was on the floor, and I'm going to try and get it all back on that last bottom shelf in the pantry, and it also is one of the smaller ones, so it doesn't hold a ton. And this is, so we have some taco shells, we have some tomato sauce, that's what both of these are, we have some black beans, some fire roasted tomatoes, so this is whole tomatoes. We also have some olives, some green chilies, some pickles, a big bag of jasmine rice. These are wheat thins. These are the Crunchmaster chips, which are almost empty. We have some Simply Hans, lots of pasta over there, some artichoke hearts. We have Parmesan cheese. These are peanut-free cashews and almonds. So if you are peanut-free but can have tree nuts, these these are tree nuts that are peanut free. So this is cashews from the Sunshine Nut Company, and I get these on Amazon. I think they have a couple of different flavors, options. And then we have the Blue Diamond nuts. We usually only get the lightly salted. We also have a mustard allergy, and so I know they have like some barbecue ones and stuff, and we don't get those because of the mustard. But and then we also have some cornstarch back here. So this is all going to go on the last shelf in the pantry. Okay, so this is my freezer inventory list that I use. I have one for the pantry too. I'm going to put a link to this in the description below, so if you would like to print one off for yourself. And I'll be filling this out as I'm going through the freezer. I don't know if you can hear me with the motor running, but this is the outside refrigerator, the freezer top in it, and I don't have a ton in here actually. I have some strawberries. There's no more strawberries down there. This is dressing that I made an extra batch for at Thanksgiving. This was a freezer meal. This is pork tenderloin. There's 2 in there. Red beans, fish up here. These are catfish filleted, broccoli and potato soup, skirt steak from a cow that we got, half a cow that we got several months ago. That's the only thing left, I think. Sweet potato fries, chicken wings, little smokies that I'm saving for Christmas. Okay, so this is the chest freezer, and it's really cold outside today, so I'm gonna try and go as quickly as I possibly can. This is out in our garage. So we have peach bars that I made a few weeks ago that I need to use up. I have actual peaches, more peach bars. We have butter, carrots, green peas, corn, green beans, more corn, vegetable medley, more peaches. I don't know if you can see, these are pecans from Pearson's Pecan Farm. This is the newest harvest, and so that's, I think that's 3 bags, and they're 5-pound bags, I think. Maybe 10. I can't remember. It's a lot. There's a lot of pecans down there. There's some chicken breast, 4 packs of crawfish, more veggies, more peaches. We have bacon. This is a, we have a smoker and I smoke pork butts, and this is a piece of one. More peaches. We have okra, more peaches, broccoli, some green beans, some cauliflower rice. These are butter peas. At the very bottom we have more peaches, we have peas, we have a few chicken breasts. We have some crab and more peaches. Alright, this is the inside refrigerator freezer, and I have a few french fries. I have some green peas. Looks like a medley. Some more butter peas. Corn. These Good Pop fruit punch. Different fruit juices. And Garden Duo mix. That's pretty old actually. That's from 20. We have some Ocean Spray cranberries, more cranberries. We have some chicken breast, pork tenderloin, some chicken, individual frozen chicken breast chops. This is bacon. We have some more catfish, even more catfish, chicken breast, pecans. I have some bread that I use to make breadcrumbs with. This is some yeast. I have some stock back there. I have some cranberries, some shredded chicken, some sliced almonds, some corn. This is pie dough that I made for Thanksgiving, and I have another video making that. I just noticed this when I was moving some stuff. This is, I have no idea what this is, and I couldn't tell what it was. So this is going to be coming out because I have no clue what it was, and it's also from 2019. So it's going to be gone, unfortunately. And then we have some crab. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today, and if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, or comment below. I'd love to hear from you, whatever recipes that you would like to see me do in the coming weeks with some of the food storage that I had. Or if you saw the pie video in the last video, please leave some pie recipes for me. I love to see all the stuff and I love to see what y'all are doing. So thanks so much, and I'll see y'all next time.